What is up, everyone? This is the Quantum Anomaly coming at you with some Kerbal Space Program, and this return to Kerbal Space Program, for those who've been on my channel for a long time, have seen a little bit of Kerbal posted way back in the past. This time I am coming back because of the logo on my flag. So this wonderful blue logo is the logo of Steemit.com, a wonderful website. It's a social media network that pays you to post original and fun content. It also comes to you by a big thanks to the Toxic Time Waster and his amazing series on super colonization, which rekindled that fire that I had, especially for some missions that I hope to be able to partake in the future. Some colonization of my own that I've been really wanting to get back and try to do again. I've done it a zillion times. There's one mission in particular that I really want to make happen, one little storyline. But we're not going to jump that far ahead today. We are going to start pretty small. Uh, in fact, I've just got a simple satellite. I got to remember how to do some of the basics, like get a rocket into a proper orbit without using MechJeb. So I do generally rely on MechJeb to do a lot of my orbital insertions and a lot of my planetary transfers, just because I don't... For me, the meat of the game is in building cool rockets that can perform the way that I want them to. And I've launched so many launches off of, just off of Kerbin that I generally don't, take too much time in or worry too much if if they're not super clean or whatever. So MechJeb is kind of handy when it comes to just doing some of the monotonous, tedious type work. But it is not updated to 1.2, which is what we are playing in. So luckily Kerbal Engineer did have a build on GitHub that I was able to use because I really can't do my own delta V calculations. I can eyeball stuff, but I will over-engineer the bloody mess out of any rocket that I build without it. And I tend to over-engineer anyway, but yeah, even this rocket actually has way more than it needs for its orbital insertion burn. So that's why I'm cutting it kind of steep here, and I'm not super worried about keeping it straight or anything. Plus, these wings are actually way more than it needs. It actually fights a lot of my maneuvering until we're out of the atmosphere. But they're one of the only ones that have this super cool, Steemit logo flag that I did for Kerbal Space Program. So we're getting a little bit of atmospheric heating, not too much. We're almost out of the atmosphere. Our apoaps is over 100, which is about where I want it for now. Standard kind of orbital insertion. We are going to go ahead and dump this fairing and expose the satellite, the Steemit one. I'm pretty sure I have more than enough fuel in here, and I have ions on this too. So I'm going to go ahead and dump the main stage. Separate a little bit off of that, okay? And we'll set up our maneuver node and get into orbit. So I was just playing around a little bit today. This is nothing. This is no complex satellite. I am kind of wanting to play around some with the. So all the antennas actually have a purpose now, which you could see. The little green line means the antenna's hooked up, and that's something new. It's a big change to Kerbal 1.2. It basically brings in the old remote tech mod. And like a little bit of kind of like ScanSat and remote tech, which I used to enjoy playing with, but it's kind of difficult. Did bring those together, so let's see, a 1 minute burn, or a 2 minute burn, and we are a minute away, so let's go ahead and throttle that up. We do have quite a bit to go through. Hopefully, I don't know what my, vessel, stage 1, 1400, yeah, so it should be fine. So, while we're talking about that, yeah, so I'm not going to do a whole lot else today. It's just going to be this orbital insertion burn. I might end up transitioning this satellite into a polar orbit, but that won't be... If I do that, I'm not going to do commentary on it, because I think the total thrust-to-weight ratio of my ions is like 0.25. Oh, I also didn't set up action groups. See, lots of things that I'm trying to remember. I did want to do the nice flare of opening this bad boy up, but that's okay. No big deal there. So for those of you, from Steemit, so this is Kerbal, or Kerbin, that's the home planet, first moon, second moon, and this is the Kerbal system. All of these planets, or almost all of them, have moons of their own, and there are asteroids you can get. It's huge, and it is an amazing physics simulator. Not 100% accurate, but I think that, a little bit of video game smudging here and there actually benefits the game, because you don't have to worry so much about realism. All right, here we are. Now, okay, there we are. When my periapsis gets just out of there, I wanted to go ahead and ditch this stage so that it'll burn up on re-entry. Let's go ahead and extend our solar panels, because we're going to need these. And this is where action groups would have come in real handy. Okay, and let's maneuver over here. And light up the ion engines. These two run on a xenon gas, which we have a ton of, which is going to be really handy for making orbital changes, as we go. I'm going to do some fine-tuning of this point here. There we go. And 40 meters a second, delta V to finish this maneuver. We are almost there. We're a little bit late. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh no, the electric charge is still up there. I'm going to wait for the electric charge to finish, and then we will open up the satellite dish. 4, 3, 2, 1, and there. It's close enough. Alright, that puts us in a 100-kilometer orbit-ish. Well, 135, by 74. So, what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to even this out a smidge. We're going to burn that up. I want a circular orbit. There we go. So I have a few more seconds to talk about this.
What's up?
Go over here, and hang on just a second. 1 sec. And we're going to time cycle. 20-second burn, 5 minutes out. Get a nice little view of everything. Now we are out of the sun there. There we go. This should be good enough. Just want to circularize that periapsis out just a little bit. Let's bring up our nav ball. Make sure that we are burning as prograde as possible. And 2H9, 130, and dink. Okay, there we go. Now that's good. Close that out. We are in the dark, so let's go ahead and move over and get on the sunny side of the planet. Check out our glorious stars in the distance. And sunlight. Alright. Now that that's there, we can go ahead and open up our scanning radar dish. And that, ladies and gents, is our amazing little satellite craft. So, here's to some new beginnings in Kerbal Space Program. Gonna be having a little bit of fun and see where this goes. And thank you to Steemit once again, and thank you to the Toxic Time Waster for both encouraging me to do some new content and to have some fun and to just play around and post it on the web. To everybody else out there, keep building.